Hi guys, it's Spoonie, and this is my review for the game Gotham Knights. It was published by Warner Brothers Games and developed by WB Games Montreal, who also worked on the Batman Arkham Origins game. It was released October 21st, 2022 on the PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox Series X and S. I actually played it through Game Pass on my Series S. I played the game solo, but it does allow for a drop-in two-player co-op campaign. You can play as either Nightwing, Robin, Red Hood, or Batgirl. On my playthrough, I played with Robin because Tim Drake is my favorite out of those four characters. I'll start with the good because unfortunately there isn't a whole lot.
Good idea.
The story has some cool elements in it. For instance, they introduce the Court of Owls, and actually, when they do the new enemy types, the Court of Owls gangs, they have a different combat approach to pretty much everything else you've fought so far. So it encourages you to switch up your playstyle and try new tactics and different gadgets that your character has. The Court of Owls stuff in this was really cool, and when I started looking them up, I found out that they actually make an appearance in the TV show Gotham, so that's something I've started watching recently. Unfortunately, that's pretty much all I liked about the game. If you like this video, listen to Skeets.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more adventures.
Okay, and now we're going to move into the bad section.
Bad idea.
While perhaps this game was inspired by the Batman Arkham games, it does not share a continuity, so for me, there's no investment in Batman's death at the beginning of the game. I personally feel like there's no real reason they needed to do that. They could have just had him become like crippled or something. He could be the new Oracle at the HQ, and he could be giving missions to the characters, and the game would still be about these four characters trying to step out of their mentor's shadow and become their own heroes. Now, the gameplay, which is the key aspect to any good video game, is really lacking in this one. Okay, so the boss fights suck. You can fight Mr. Freeze, Harley Quinn, and Clayface by doing some optional side missions. The Clayface boss fight is probably the best one. The Harley one is really easy, and the Mr. Freeze thing, especially the second battle you fight him, he's in some kind of weird mecha snow crab. Traversal in this game sucks. Now, what I mean by traversal is the way that your character actually moves around the map. Playing as Batman in the Arkham games, getting around the map was a lot of fun. Once you got used to the traversal, you could basically glide across the entire map, just keep grappling and dive bombing to build momentum. In this, it's pretty much you just grapple everywhere or summon the Bat Cycle, and the Bat Cycle really is just to get around quicker. There is no vehicle combat in this like there is in Arkham Knight. And when you level up your character high enough, you get to unlock some unique character abilities. For Tim Drake, he had this ability to teleport. It was really dumb, and pretty much I just used it when I was trying to get to the top of the building to save me a few seconds of having to grapple my way up. Stealth, which was a key element in all those previous Batman games, basically doesn't matter in this. There's literally only like two environments where you have the option to kind of do stealth, and honestly, the rewards for it are pointless. They just give you some extra crafting material, and those are not hard to come by. Now, when it comes to collectibles, I know it's kind of a hit or miss issue. I know a lot of people either absolutely hate games that have collectibles, or like me, really enjoy finding them all. This game has a much smaller amount of collectibles than previous Batman games. Now, for me, that was a minus, but it wasn't just the lack of them, it's how easy it was to access them all. You pretty much, they were just lying in the open, and the ones that required you to get through a certain amount of like time rings in a certain time limit are not challenging at all. Some of the best parts of Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City were the puzzles to get some of those Riddler clues. You might have to look at something from a specific perspective to get things to line up, or there's a certain number of switches you have to hit in order in a certain sequence, or even some of the traversal things I was talking about. There was one, I think, in Arkham City, if I'm remembering right, where you had to basically dive bomb and glide just above the surface of the water to get under one of the piers near, I think, the Penguins area. So it actually kind of rewarded your dedication to sort of mastering the movement system and having some little puzzles there, so it's not just a complete like action beat 'em up. Location of the collectibles also is very obvious. Like pretty much any major landmark, like for instance Wayne Tower or the GCPD or the hospital or anything like that, that's where the collectibles are, exactly where you'd expect them to be. There's not really a whole lot of reason to explore the city. And speaking of the city, this is definitely the least interesting map out of all the Batman games. Now, I don't think the map is as big as Batman Arkham Knight. I know it probably is bigger than Arkham Origins, but it does not feel like it. The map from Arkham City and the sort of expanded version of that map, which was featured in Arkham Origins, felt like there was more to do. I know that there were actually less gangs on the street. There was like kind of less crimes that you could stop, like crimes in progress. But it felt more alive than what we get in Gotham Knights. And probably one of the biggest faults the developer had when making this game is that they did not include any kind of challenge, any kind of combat or predator challenge modes. This was a feature that added a lot of replay value to all the Batman games. Whether you're doing the combat challenges, trying to get the longest combo you can, using a variety of different moves to get more points for it, style points, or the predator challenges, which were always a lot of fun because it basically just puts you in a closed room with a bunch of guards, gives you all your accessories, and lets you go nuts. Okay, so this game took me about 45 hours to get the base 1,000 achievement points or the Platinum Trophy. It's a very average game in many aspects. Grouping it in with the Batman Arkham games, this is easily the worst one. But like I said, it doesn't actually share any continuity, so I'm gonna try not to think about this one when I think about the Arkham series. Taking away any kind of emphasis on stealth and other things are basically cutting away what made the series so great. Again, going back to the lack of the challenges, after I finished the game, there is a new game plus, and the only reason I started it was to get the last achievement, which was for getting your character to level 40, and during your first run, you can only max at 30. Anyways, once I got my completion on that, I basically uninstalled the game. Now, if you can play this on Game Pass, or you can find it for maybe like $20 or less, and you like the kind of combat of action games like the Arkham series or like the Middle Earth series, then you might enjoy this. But just don't expect that anywhere near that level of quality. This game feels really hollow in comparison, and you will most likely be very disappointed. Anyway, thanks for watching this far. Let me know if you liked it and if you want to see me cover any other kind of specific game. My next game review will be for DC's Justice League Cosmic Chaos. It's just a coincidence that these are both comic book related titles. I do play other games, and I hope you'll come back to check that out. Thanks again. See ya.